Yes, now, and welcome back to episode 163 of the Top Loaded podcast. And following on from the little summer break, there's a lot of talking points and previewing something as well, which I can't wait for. But a massive thanks yet again for the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded podcast. Where if you need card supplies, custom card stands, great preparation kits, or whatever you may be, head over to the website, check their shop out, or use the link in the bio and use the code TTP10 to save 10% off your order. And before I get into National and SOCO and Chicago, the Lionesses have done it again. We are champions of Europe again for the back-to-back time. I can't believe it. It was just such a tense final against Spain. It was such a good game. Personally, as well, I went to Switzerland last week to see the semi-final between Germany and Spain as well. What a beautiful country. If any of you did head out for the Euros, I'm no doubt you're in love with that country, and it's probably one of my favorite countries I've ever been to. But the girls have done us absolutely proud. Chloe Kelly yet again scoring the winning goal for England to win the Euros back-to-back times. The first ever England team to win on foreign soil a tournament as well, which is absolutely incredible. Just really proud of that team and everything they've accomplished in the last 4 years. Obviously, the next World Cup now in 2027 will be in Brazil, which will be a big task, but we need to start conquering the world stage. But wow, congratulations to every one of the Lionesses, and no doubt there'll be a bit of partying tonight. Sadly, won't be able to head to the parade on Tuesday, which I am gutted about. But briefly with the women's set, Panini Eternity, which is the Lioness set, which in my personal opinion becomes a bit more significant now. That is a European Championship winning year set, and obviously Euro Merlin. Both have been delayed to the beginning of August. I've heard speculation of the 31st of July for shipping on the Panini Eternity, and around the week commencing, so next week commencing for Merlin. Both them sets I can't wait for now, especially now after the victory as well. Just bring it on. Can't wait. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And there was another release as well, which I think has been causing some intrigue. Before I actually talk about the set, it's an issue that is sadly coming into the hobby, which I personally don't have a problem with to an extent, but obviously to another extent, I clearly do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it. So, Topps Reverence come out last week, obviously on website, but as well as website, it come out in the Fanatics Collectible store in London, obviously Regent Street, and the flippers have arrived. Um, Personally speaking, it looked crazy. It looked a bit unsafe as well. I'm not saying that on the store because it's their clientele they've got going in. But there was hundreds of people pushing and shoving, trying to get in to get the boxes. No doubt 99% of them will be just flipping it anyway. And it is an issue. Like, it's an issue that we haven't had really to deal with yet. But it's definitely one that's going to be a rising issue in the future of people who know they can make money off these boxes. So we'll be going to the Regent Street store, especially to try and get a box. They literally take a picture of the box in the store or on the street outside and list it straight up on eBay to try and make a quick 100, 200 quid. And at the end of the day, you can't blame someone's hustle. You can't say that. It's just, it's going to take away from some hobby goers. There'll be some hobby goers out there that will not be able to get the opportunity to buy certain boxes. And we've seen this before, not really with flippers, but the opportunity to buy boxes such as the cricket box. But funny enough, Topps Reference then became available again in the store, and I think it's gone over £1,000. I think it was 12 or £1,300. And me personally, people might agree, disagree. I'd like to know. I think it's absolutely disgusting, the dynamic pricing system that Topps Fanatics do have in that store. Personally, I am all for dynamic pricing, but it has to go two ways. If you're going to rise prices, you have to decrease prices. I think that's fair. I don't think anyone would disagree with me. I don't think anyone out there is disagreeing with me when I say you need to do dynamic. If you're doing dynamic pricing, it needs to go up and it needs to go down. You've got boxes in there at full price that are not selling and probably have never sold one box. Whereas then sets come in, They only put 5 or 6 out on the shelf, but keep 5 cases behind. And then as soon as their first allocation go, oh, we've got another 5 cases. Oops, their price has gone up double. Just seems a bit dodgy for me. Personally, I think the Fnatic store should always be retail. I'm really a strong believer in that. Obviously, they think differently. Obviously, it's up to them. It's their business, their company. Whoever runs the store thinks they know the hobby better than the people in the hobby. But personally, I think it's bang out of order. I think it's disgusting. It needs to go up and it needs to go down price wise. It can't just go up. And that's my personal opinion. People's opinions may differ. But actually, going on to the set, I actually think it's quite average. Obviously, there's going to be people disagree with me. I think it's a rip-off on Flawless in terms of you've got these gem cards. But there was one thing that I was very surprised about, because Topps normally do this quite well, is the plate of where the auto is. Obviously, it's sticker auto. It's not on card. It's like a gold background. But some of like the blue black pens that were used on the set, it's actually quite hard to see. And for a set that is retail, I think it was £600. Might be off. I think it was about £600. Personally, I think you should be guaranteed a card to 10 or less. You shouldn't be seeing case breaks where the lowest number in is to 15 to 25. Don't get me wrong, there's quite cool concepts in there as well. You can get special boxes, some that are all the same team, or all legend autographs, which is quite a cool concept. And I quite liked that before when they done that with the Sorcerer packs in Merlin, where all of the autos were to 8 or less, I believe it was. So yeah, that's come out, and I personally don't think it's a great release. Might be one of them that in time it changes and people's the perception of it changes. However, I just don't think it's a good release. Obsidian is here as well. Excuse me. And I think it's quite unanimous, and I don't think people will disagree with me here, that one of the best looking cards parallels in general sports is the Gold Flood. And they've kind of changed the light, like the colouring of the Gold Flood, where it looks more, it's like a lighter gold rather than like a really nice metallic gold, which they normally have. So it kind of has taken that shine away from Obsidian. And obviously, because Obsidian is now out and the Topps license, which I'll get into now, has started with for the Premier League, they do not have the Premier League rights for Obsidian. So the only teams that I believe that they could use in it, or near enough, it might be the last set with the Premier League, but a lot of its Club World Cups is starting to see Saudi Arabian teams get in there, South American teams get in there. So we was wondering how they do it without the license for the Premier League, and that's the way around of doing it, like the Club World Cups and stuff like that. Me personally, I can't remember it. There's one insert which is absolutely stunning. It's brilliant card design. And they made a mistake on the checklist. I'm led to believe that the White Knights are not actually in hobby releases. I don't know how true it is, but I was reading an article on that today. For me, I'm personally just waiting on the women's side of it. But I've got to talk about my main talking point. And as soon as I start talking about it, there's a smile on my face because I can't wait. This week is the National Sports Card Convention in Chicago, Illinois, and also the SOCO, which is a soccer convention as well in the same city. And I can't wait. I am flying out to Chicago the day of this coming out, and it's going to be an absolutely incredible trip. Going there with some very good friends, GBW, HJ Cards, Real Harry's World, meeting out JJJ Cards out there as well. As many, as well as a lot of other people. So I can't wait for it. It's going to be an absolute blast. And I can't wait to come back in a couple of weeks to report back all of the findings of how did the National go? What did I get up to? What did I buy? Did I sell? Did I buy boxes? Did I get national packs? Like just what the experience is like for people who might be considering going next year or whenever they do. But what is my plan for the National? People are asking. And for me, over the past, I would say, few months, I'm slowly centering my attention, obviously, around the Arsenal women's PC and that is for me going forward. I'm in two minds whether to try and start a business within the hobby, but for passion wise, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone. I do have a couple of side PCs. One of them is Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, and Arsene Wenger stickers and old like cars prior to 2000 or like 2004. Um, and obviously my main PC is Arsenal women. So when I'm out there, I'm hoping to be able to pick up some Arsenal women's cards. That would be really nice. Maybe an Omri rookie, but probably not go for that this time in my collection standpoint. But also, I want to try and pick up a couple of bits that will, what's the word, symbolize the experience of the trip. And I've got kind of a mini list because people might not know I'm a massive American sports fan. Funny enough, I say that as I'm wearing a Los Angeles Lakers jersey. But I think it'd be quite nice to get a couple of cards, especially the American ones, because that would be obviously a lot more at the national. And I was thinking, maybe I'll get one basketball card, one American football card, because they're the two main sports I do watch. So I was thinking potentially a Eli Manning autograph, who is the Hall of Fame legendary quarterback for the New York Giants. Or I might try and get an Odell Beckham Jr. rookie card, which is one of my favorite players of all time. But when it comes to basketball, I'm quite open-minded because I do want a nice Kobe. Obviously, I'm not going to get an autograph because that's out of my budget. But just maybe a nice NBA card, a nice Kobe, or a nice. I'll say probably Kobe be the one I go for. But yeah, I'm much looking forward to it. Obviously, the national runs Wednesday evening, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the SOCO is trade night on the Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I do believe. Where the rumor is it's up to 10,000 people for SOCO, which is crazy. And I think excuse me, the thing that I'm very much looking forward to getting first-hand experience of at the moment is how the soccer market is doing in the United States of America, because we're seeing it a lot more in videos, whether it's like Card Collector 2, Roth, whoever it may be. People are buying soccer. Obviously, it's in lieu of next year is the FIFA World Cup in America. So even the whole of the United States of America will have more attention on soccer, which would be really good to see. But some prices are doing really well. Obviously, the two most liquid people in the hobby is Lionel Messi and Lamine Yamal. You pretty much have to have the number 10 shirt at Barcelona if your cards want to sell for good prices. However, it will be interesting to see if a lot more people have cards, what prices they are doing, because there's definitely a growing market in America. And we have heard it from quite a few people saying the soccer industry is growing in America. It's doing well at the moment, and it's going to be one of them to keep an eye on. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Another thing I'm really looking forward to at National is, and I think it's one of them, of some of the cards you will see there are just cards that you see on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever it may be. Mickey Mantle's, Honus Wagner's, Michael Jordan's, LeBron James, Jeter, all of these type of people, all the legends of American sport, they're big cards on show, like whether it's Fanatics, Golden, whoever it may be, $1 million cards on show. And just seeing some of them, I think would be really nice to have more of an appreciation for some of the bigger cards within our hobby. And I think that's going to be a really cool aspect as well to look forward to and to like to see whilst out there. As well as seeing like PSA, what are they going to have to say while you're out there? I think Fanatics is going to be quite intriguing as well. Obviously, SOCO is the main one of interest for me. Hundreds of soccer tables. Just hopefully being able to find a couple of growls for the Arsenal NPC. Hopefully, maybe try and buy a Stina Net Relic Redemption. That's what I'm going to probably try and track down, but I haven't seen many of them available for sale at the moment. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great trip. I will be trying to post some TikToks about it, or I'm trying to focus the women's side on TikTok, so maybe even some reels on Instagram. But definitely do pay attention to GBW on Instagram, because I know he's got some fantastic content planned and some challenges as well, which would be really fun. But it's also just seeing a lot of the guys that I speak to on a weekly, daily basis. Some people, whether it's like Trike, JB Collects, obviously from Sunday League Investors, and you're seeing a lot of people out of there who you speak to, but you've always been half a world apart. So that's going to be great fun. Just creating memories with people, and hopefully forging obviously new rapports with people as well, to see in the future potential deals lay down the line. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the SOCO National and all the content that comes with it and the stories. I'll try and get on a few of the boys that I travel with on the episode back, just to show you how it went, what we thought. Is it worth doing it again? Obviously, we're only a few weeks away from the London Card Show as well, which is crazy already. And funny enough, I had a rant planned. On Friday, I had a mini rant. Can't believe they haven't sent out the top UK parallels for the Women's Champions League. And then I woke up at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning to an email. Your delivery from Tops UK is out. And I was like, oh, come on. They've got to have bugs on some of my top loaders or something that they heard me. And I managed to get some really nice cards. I had a Stina Blackstenius gold to 50, tops now, a Arsenal team to 25 orange, and then I had a Kim Little gold to 50, Kim Little orange to 25, and a Kim Little red to 5, which is I'm over the moon with. I can't wait to send them off to PSA, which I'm going to do at the National. And the next episode, actually, I'm going to have a very, very cool reveal as well. A grade return of 5 tickets, which was Arsenal winning the league at Old Trafford, 3 2006 Champions League final tickets, and an Ethan Wanyeri pro debut, where he made his professional debut off the bench against Brentford in the Premier League. So that's going to be a good reveal, as well as the pickups from the National SOCO, and obviously planning ahead to the London Card Show, which is only just around the corner. It's one of them. It's a interesting period in the hobby, the July, August time, because school holidays now. A lot of people are going away. People are focusing less on their cards. So obviously for family time, holiday time, just relaxation time of year. So this time of year is normally quiet, especially sometimes the August show for London Culture can be slightly quieter, but then at the same time, people missing out on the National get that FOMO, and then they end up going to the London Card Show and spending big. So that's going to be very intriguing. And then there was my last talking point. I didn't want to have a long episode, this one, which is the state of SGC. And personally, if I had to pick my favorite brand 4 or 5 months ago, SGC would be number one. Their efficiency, turnaround, staff, everything about it, fantastic, all the way down to their CEO, who has stepped down this week. And let's not kid around the bush. We're not stupid. A certain company acquires SGC, obviously the Collectors Group, which is also the ones who run PSA. And SGC has gone from a 2-week turnaround. Yep, you heard me. A 2-week turnaround, which was 10 days, to 12. It's times 6. So he's obviously stepped down because it's not the business that he had really matured and started setting up. It's doing very poor at the moment, and it's sad to see, because SGC are a great company. They've axed all of their the intermediaries deals, so they get cheaper grades, like the grade submitters. So sadly, and people might not agree with this, but I'm going to put it out there. I think within 12 months there will be no SGC. I think they might just collapse SGC into PSA. I'm a massive fan of SGC, especially for the vintage stuff. So hopefully they don't, but I've just got a weird feeling that they're going to try and disband SGC and just merge it in with PSA, which would be a shame. And they'll probably just use like the SGC plant as just a PSA hub as well, which would be a shame to see, because SGC is a great company. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they did announce that. Just wouldn't anymore. But yeah, I'll just keep it short and sweet for this week's episode. The next couple of episodes will be a bit busier. The National Look Back, London Card Show special in particular. So just want to say, anyone who is traveling out to the National /SOCO, let me know. Drop me a message. Let's meet up, get some food, drink, just chat, have a look at cards. For people who are not, hope you have a lovely summer period. Hopefully the weather gets a bit nicer than it is. But yeah, a massive thanks yet again to the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded Podcast. Whether you need card stands, custom grade kits, no, that is completely wrong. Card supplies, custom card stands, and grade preparation kits. There you go. After 163 episodes, you think I'd get it right. Head over to the bio or head over to their website and use TTP10 for 10% off. But another massive congratulations to the Lionesses for being the queens of Europe yet again. But I hope everyone out there is doing well, buying, selling, trading, and all that good jazz. But most importantly, happy hobbying and good night.